Hi everyone, it's Alison Sullivan with Stamp Crazy with Alison. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in New Westminster, British Columbia, which is on the west coast of Canada. And welcome. If you've never been to my channel before, one of my lives, I'd like to welcome you. If you are joining me after the fact and watching a replay, I appreciate you coming and spending some time watching what I've created. So I'm going to wait until everybody gets on, or at least a few people get on. And in the meantime, I'm just going to make sure that everything is broadcasting the way it ought to. So I'm on a few channels. I'm on YouTube, and I'm on, let's see, let's get this going here. Okay, that looks good. Looks good. Let's go over. Hi, Keisha. How are ya? Let me just go over here and make sure that I'm got sound. Good. Yep, I got sound. Oh, good. We're all ready to go. Keisha, we are all ready to go. I have a feeling I'm broadcasting and I've left off something. So I think I've broadcast to my page and my two groups in Facebook, and I've left off YouTube, but it's kind of too late to add YouTube at this point. So I will add it later. Okay, just give myself a note. Add video. Okay. Hi, Facebook user, whoever you are. Remember, when you join me on a Facebook group, there's instructions that tell you that you have to give Facebook permission, just so that I can see your name. I can see your comment, but not your name. Or alternatively, if you'd rather not do that, you could just, if you're joining me and you said, hi, Allison, just a minute ago, you can put your name in. Like, say, hi, Allison from Barb, and that way I'll know who you are. Okay. Hi, Jacqueline. Is that you that was my Facebook user earlier? Maybe. Hi, guys. So I'm really excited. We're going to make a really cute project today. Just turn on. Oh, see if I need a little bit more light. It's darker. It's later in the day. Usually I'm on at 10 in the morning or 3 in the afternoon. But tonight it's 5 o'clock. So welcome, you guys. Okay. Wait one more minute and then we'll get started. Hope everybody's having a good day. Thanks for coming. Hi, Leanne. Thanks for coming all the way from Australia. That's my friend in Australia. Okay, so today, let me get us sorted here. We're going to be using the Celebrate with Tags bundle. And this is a really adorable stamp set and tags that are in the July to December 2022 mini catalog. And it's the focus featured products of a class that my partner Ange McKay and I are offering. It's our October sign up. So you sign up in October. The class is actually on November the 5th, which is a Saturday. And we're going to start at 10 a.m. Pacific time in Facebook. It's an exclusive group. You do not have to, if you live in Canada, you purchase the kit, which I'm going to show you in a minute. But if you don't live in Canada and you live in the United States or anywhere, you can actually purchase the PDF and join our class. You just cut your own supplies and provide your own stamps. So if you want to join a fun online class, all you have to do is purchase the PDF. Okay, I am feeling better, Jacqueline. Thank you. I wasn't very well last week, but I'm feeling much better. Thanks. All right, so let's get started. Let's go over here. So like I said, we're using Celebrate with Tags. So this is the stamp set, super cute. The dies, let me bring those in. Move this over, Titch. So here's the dies. Now, I think what I'm going to do actually is turn the dies this way so you can see it a little bit better. Can you see that? Yeah, I think so. So we've got these big dies here that create a tag, like you fold it in half. We've got this really great circle. Now, we used that the other night on a card. And we've got a mitt. So this little mitten gets cut out. We've got two types of candles. We've got a balloon we used on the other night. We've got hearts. We've got some nice labels. And let me show you. These are the ones we're going to be using today. So I pulled those off. So we've got a snowflake. We've got another tag die. So one's got a little scallop edge and one does not. We've got this really great rectangular shape here. And then we've also got another label which cuts out some of these labels. Okay, so that's the bundle. It's awesome. So you have to have that for the class. Now you can substitute other products if you want, but if you want to make the cards exactly like we do, you will need those that bundle. Now your class fee of $40 also comes with, let me just spread this out. This is Celebrate Everything DSP, Designer Series paper. This paper is exclusive to house, which means that when somebody spends $200 or more, they can select this as their free reward. Okay. Now I've cut this down to 6 by 6 just so you can see it. You're going to get the equivalent of 12 by 12, 12 sheets. So 12 sheets double-sided of 12 by 12. We do cut it down to 6 by 12 just so it's easier to mail. Ooh, there's one. And let me flip this over so you can see the other side. So you can see you got lots of holidays. We've got, 4th of July, Canada Day. We've got Happy New Year's. We've got Halloween. We've got Christmas. We've got fall. And then we've just got fun ones that are great for birthdays or other occasions. So that's the fantastic DSP. So you're going to get that as part of your $40. You're going to get a full roll of ribbon. This is the Whisper White seam binding. You can get a full roll of that. You're going to get a full set of the 2022-2024 in color matte decorative dots. So you get quite a bit. So really, when you think about it, the class is really almost free, right? Because the products that you're getting are worth close to that $40. Okay, so let me show you an example of what you get. So this was our class last month, was based on the Apple Harvest Bundle. So you can see that we lay out all the supplies that you would need. You can, of course, substitute colors, but we just like to tell you everything that we're using in our cards. And then we give you a PDF that shows you the picture of the card, gives you the dimensions of the card and the step-by-step directions. And that's for each of the 4 cards. And we give you this, plus we invite you to an exclusive Facebook group where we stamp and put them together. And so this is an example of what I would have sent out for the Apple Harvest. You get your 4 cards pre-cut, you get access to the PDF, and you get all those goodie bag items. Okay, so that's what the $40 gets you. We have a special, actually, we're offering that if you buy the bundle, the Celebrate with Tags bundle, we're giving it to you pretty much without shipping or taxes added. So just another little bonus for joining the class. Okay, so let's see who else has jumped on here. Hi, Wanda. Hi, Diane and Donna. Hi, you guys. It's such cute paper, Jacqueline. Jacqueline, your name's coming up now, so you don't have to worry about it. I've got you covered. All right, so let's start by making our card. Now, what I'm going to do is I've got a piece of Coastal Cabana. I love this color. Who else likes this color? I love it. So I've got this. Now, it's cut 4 1/4. I think it's 8 1/2. Now you do not need this width, but I just cut a piece in half. Okay. Then I'm going to grab the die, putting it the right way. So here's the die. It's going to cut out that tag. I also want to cut out a little window in the top part of my tag. So I'm just going to, that's the rectangle shape that comes with the dies. Now, just so that it doesn't move around, I'm going to take my repositionable tape and I'm just going to tape this down so that it stays in place. I've got my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. You're going to need the base, which is base number 1, right? Ooh, let me bring that down. So 1. And we've got the die cut little platform, which is number 2. Then we've got a clear plate number 3. And we've got our paper and our die. And then we're going to top it off with another plate number 3. And then we're going to run that through. So I've just got my machine right beside me here. And I'm just going to run that through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I love the way it cuts. It's just like butter, you guys. It just goes, it's so smooth and it doesn't take much of an effort to get that through the die. And then here we go. So let's take this off. And then we've got our little piece here. And I'm going to put this over on my piece of magnet so that I don't lose it. So here's what you end up with. You end up with this die cut, and then I got this little piece here. Okay. So if you were making a tag, you would fold this. Okay. And then you would fold this around like so, and then around like so, and glue all that together. And then you could cut a piece that just slides in here and pulls out. But we're not going to do that. We're doing something a little bit different. So let me grab my trimmer. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these in half. So I'm going to cut my 2 tags in half. Just make sure I'm, there we go. So now I've got the 2 pieces. And I'm also going to cut off that little edge. So I can use the score line here just to trim that off. Just make sure I've got that completely centered there. The lights are playing a little bit of havoc with me. There we go, because it creates this little bit of a shadow that I can't see. Okay, and then we're going to just move that over and just a titch. There we go. Okay. Set that aside. All right, and then this is what we're ending up with. We've got our 2 pieces. Okay. Now, I'm going to actually make a shaker card. So we're going to start by cut some DSP, I thought, but apparently I did not. I want to put a little backing on here. So I'm going to grab some of, I liked this one. I thought this was really fun. Actually, no, that's not true. I thought I was making, I was making another card, but I'm not. So let me grab the one I really want. The one that I really, really want. Isn't there like a Spice Girl song? I'm going to use this one. Okay. I'm going to put that on the inside. So it's kind of a different color blue, but it'll go fine with this. Okay. So this one I want to be 2. I believe it's, I'm just going to measure. I believe it's 2 1/8 by 3 1/8. So here we go. So I'm going to want it 3 1/8 long by 2 1/8 wide. There we go. Okay. So let's go ahead and glue that down. How you guys doing? Anybody saying anything that I'm missing? Nope. You guys are just watching. You're so quiet. Did anybody get any stamping done today? I'm going to have a long weekend here in Canada with Thanksgiving, so I hope you get some stamping done. Okay, there we go. All right. So that's sort of my base. And then on this piece, I want to create a little window. So I've grabbed some of our, let me just put a piece of paper behind it. Some of our, oh, maybe black would be better. I'm not sure. Let's see. Can you see that? It's a window. It's called a window sheet, and we sell these. So it's acetate. It's just a sort of a plastic little liner. Okay, that's what we're going to use now. I've cut that to 2 1/8 by 3 1/8 also. Okay, and I'm going to glue it to the back of this piece. Now I'm going to use our tape, our tear and tape, because I really want that to stick well, and I don't want it coming off. You'll see why in a minute. We don't want the little pieces that we've got on the inside of our shaker to come loose. Okay. Okay. This is sticky tape, that's for sure. Okay, now this is a bit tricky because you kind of have to taking these off, but they might overlap a bit, so you have to kind of just play with it. It's not hard, it's just sometimes a little bit finicky. Now, I guess if I was wanting to be absolutely sure I could just cut my tape, but I like to tear it, which is why the name Tear and Tape, because you can just tear it off the roll and it comes off so easy, which makes life easier, right? You don't have to grab your scissors and your scissors don't get all gummed up, so kind of a good thing. Okay. You just got back from the dentist, Donna? Oh, I'm sorry. Well, this is better than going to the dentist. My nephew's a dentist, and I think he's a good dentist. So we shouldn't demonize dentists, but nobody likes to go to the dentist. I don't even think dentists like to go to the dentist. Okay, so that's, you can see that I've now made a little window. Okay, that's what we're going for. Now, have you guys made shakers before? Depending on the shape that you're making, I find that the foam adhesive strips work beautifully. So you can see these are already created into strips. Look at this. Isn't that great? Love it. So they're double-sided. They're like a long dimensional is really what they are. So I want to place this kind of as close to the edge as I can. So I'm sort of going right to the edge. Now this time I do want to cut because I want straight lines. Okay, and you'll see why in a sec. So I'm going to cut this. Okay, and I'm just going to press that down, make sure that's down. So we've got the paper on this side, so it's not sticky yet. So it gives you time to do what you're doing. And I'm going close without going over the edge. And the reason is I want to contain the little shaker bits that I'm going to put inside. And I don't want it to kind of, if I put the tape like way down here, you can see that the stuff I'm putting in will disappear from the window, and we don't want that. So what you're going to do is butt this up as close as you can to these side pieces. And I cut it and then I stick it down. So I cut it just slightly, like I'm talking not even measurable. I just want to create a really tight seal because you don't want stuff shaken out. Okay. Okay, so I'm just sticking that down as hard as I can. There we go. All right, so now we've got what we've got is a little channel here that we're going to put some things in that we want to shake. Now there's lots of things you could put in. My friend Leanne pointed out to me something in the catalog that I hadn't seen. And I think, oh gosh, which one did she say? What page did she say it was on? I think it was on page 44. Let me just grab. Yes. She said this gets lost in the catalog, and it gets lost, and I didn't see it. But these are little sequins. And if you go to the back of our catalog and you look in the, let me just see here. Here they are. Adhesive back sequins and gems. She says they get lost, but she says when you actually get them, they're absolutely gorgeous. So now I have to, of course, have to order them. But she says they have blue tinges and pinks and silver, and she said they're really gorgeous for shaker cards. But I don't have those, so we're going to use the iridescent elements from the annual catalog. Okay. So what I want to do before I do that, I'm going to just take. I'm not going to take the whole thing off, but can you see that I'm just pulling this and then I'm putting it out into the edge? Does that make sense? So this is sticky, this is not. The reason I'm doing this is because it's easier when you stick something on here to line it up. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. Because this is sticky and you can be quite sticky. And if you drop something on it, oh my gosh, it's like, yikes. So I'm just doing that on all four sides. So I've got these little pieces of the paper sticking out. Okay. Then I'm going to put in my little gems. Oh, so cute. Now, how many you put in is up to you. I find that about halfway is about right, or maybe a third, because you don't want it to completely fill up. Well, you might, but I don't want to. I want it to be able to shake, right? Then remember this piece that we put in earlier that we lined? We're going to turn it over. And what we're going to do is line this up, and I can see where I've pulled this off, right? I have tape here and here and here and here, right? But I don't have tape exposed on anything else. But when I pull these, I can then press down. It just gives you greater control when you're using the tear and tape. And that way we can do each bit individually. And we don't run the risk as much of it getting stuck to the wrong part of our project. It does make it so easy, Jacqueline, doesn't it? Yeah. Much better than a dentist, yeah. So here's what we've got. Isn't that great? So that's the shaker part. Aren't they pretty? I love that. So let's decorate this. So I've got the snowflake, and I can just use my little machine for this. Let's move that up. We've got our light gray plate, remember? And our number 2. We've got, now I'm using, this is the shimmery white paper. Now on a video like this, you're likely not to see it as easily, the shimmer, but think of Whisper white, basic white, but it's got a shimmer to it. So sparkly. Okay, so you can't really see it probably. Maybe a little bit, but trust me, it's got a sparkle. So I want 2 of those. Okay. I made so many different ones today that I forgot for a minute which one I was actually going to make on our live tonight. Okay. So here's our 2 little snowflakes. Okay, now because it's a tag, I kind of want them to be, I don't want them to stick out or they'll get scrunched, right? So that's going to go like that. So actually I can go ahead and grab the fabulous paper pumpkin glue dots. I love these. I want that to be there. So I can press that down and then remove that. I like it because it's flat and they're just the right size. And I think I want that one about there. Looks about right. And these would be really sweet for gifts, wouldn't they? I love that. Okay, let's put a word on it. The word I have chosen is Be Jolly. And we're going to stamp that on. What color did I think it would go on? I thought maybe black, but that just seems a bit dark to me. I could just put it on the same color, but that seems kind of boring. I'll do black. Black kind of pops, I guess. All right. So let's grab our embossing buddy. Move it this way. Okay, and then we're going to stamp Be Jolly. And then we're going to add some white embossing powder. I love white embossing powder on black and black on white. It just pops. Whoops, pops, doesn't it? There we go. So in our little kit that we get, you know, our little embossing kit, we get this little brush. So if we want to take any stray ink embossing powder off, it's real simple to do that. All right, then we can just heat set this. Let's grab our heat tool. You could do a whole bunch of these. I know it looks like, oh my gosh, who would you make all these tags for? But they'd be fun. If you don't want to do this shaker card, you can just cut the front off the back and create a little gift card. Or
for this, if you left it as it should be with the sides, you could put an actual gift card in here, which would be really fun. So remember I was saying that the dies have these little labels, so we can use that to cut out our words. And let's bring our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Let's put our label on there. Let's run that through. Okay. Okay. Go. And here's our little words. Isn't that cute? So let's pop that up. I think so. Got these our little mini dimensionals. Got a little bit of embossing powder there. Okay. Be jolly. Go. Okay, and then we could add one of these. This is coming in the goodie bag. How about we do this one? I think this color would work. So let's grab one of them. Okay, put that in the middle, like that. Could have put a black one, I suppose, but I like that. All right, let me move all this stuff out of the way. Let me put the top and bottom on my take a pick. So there we go. There's our little shaker. Okay. Let's add some ribbon because we want to be able to tie it to our gift, right? So put that through. Just going to pull that up. And how about I'm going to just tie a little knot here, and then at the very top, let's just make a little, I don't know what you call this, slip knot? I don't know. Let's finish it off. Like so. That'll just be a cute little topper. Hi, Keisha. Fun, isn't it fun? So cute. Okay, so that's one of the little tags. Now let me show you what else I made. I made this one for a birthday. Isn't that cute? Same idea, exactly the same elements, but I just used the Gorgeous Grape. Oh, it's a little crooked. My eyesight was off there. And Highland Heather. And then we've got some balloons. And do you remember I made that card yesterday? Gosh, it seemed like so long ago. Remember we made this yesterday. So if you weren't here yesterday, go back and watch this because I showed you how to make any color of our ink like a pigment. And so you can emboss it using a Stamparatus. But imagine if you had this tag and you put it on a card. That works, right? Yeah. Now here's one. This one I made for tags. Like these are actually standalone tags, but if you wanted to extend the snowflakes off the edge and put it on a card, now imagine this is a different color, obviously, then that would be a great focal point just for a card, right? Aren't they fun? I love them. They're so cute. And they're super easy to make. Super, super easy with this set. So that's my card for today. I'm hoping that you guys will come to our class. Again, it's on November 5th and registration is open. The links are in my video. So when I save this or when I get out of it, it'll save and you'll see the links there for our class. So hope you'll join us. Any questions? You want the class? Okay, Jacqueline. So if you can't find the link, or I'll send you the link. Okay.
Thank you, whoever said gorgeous cards and tag. That might be my friend. It is my friend Leanne because she's up here. She is a dental, I don't know, she works with pediatric kids in a dental practice in Australia. And I don't think I've ever told you, Leanne, that my nephew and his wife are dentists in Alberta. So they're good people. And I wish he was here so I could go to him as a dentist because he's pretty awesome. Alrighty. Any other questions? Doesn't look like it. Okay, you guys. So thanks for coming on Thursday. I know I'm not usually on Thursdays, but the 2 weeks that Ange and I do our promotion for our class, she's on Tuesday and I'm on Thursday. So she'll be back on next Tuesday for the class, and I'll be on next Thursday for the class. I plan to be here on Sunday at my regular time of 10, but it is Thanksgiving weekend. So I'm trying to keep my options open. I may be here, I may not. But I'll post if I'm not coming. Okay. So thank you guys for joining me. I hope you get some time to craft, and I'll see you again hopefully on Sunday. Bye for now and happy stand.